Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Jeff Trevarthen, Jeff the Mortgage Pro, and today we are looking at a VA loan house hack. And this is a real life example. We found a property, and then you could actually do this if you qualified to do this. So we're going to run through what it looks like on this video today. And if this is something that you want to do, please make sure that you reach out to me. So that's my quick little plug. All right. So in Washington State, I found this property. It's a 2-unit duplex property. And with a VA loan, remember that you can do 100% financing, which is pretty awesome. So the only difference between buying a single family home and then buying a multifamily home with a VA loan is that when you buy a multifamily home, you're going to need reserves. And what's reserves? It's just a calculation that lenders do that shows you have enough money to be able to make a monthly payment if you needed to, should you like lose your job or whatnot. It's just a calculation. So it's money in the bank that you may have in checking or savings. It's 401ks, retirement funds, stocks, all different things can qualify as reserves. And all it is a calculation. It's not money you actually have to spend to be able to buy a property. Okay. It's just a layer of risk that we add on, and it just helps us buy the property. So in any event, I found this property in Lakewood, Washington, which is near Fort Lewis, which is a big Army base in Washington. You can see that the pictures of the property, it's pretty decent. It's a nice looking property. On the outside, you may need to do a little bit of maintenance and clean things up a little bit, but for the most part, it is definitely a decent property. Okay. And then the same thing for the inside of the property. Again, it looks pretty clean, relatively speaking, but other than cleaning up, a lot of, cosmetic type stuff in here, like cleaning up the dishes in the sink or cleaning up, some of the garbage and the trash in here. And then you can see in the bedroom, just taking care of stuff and throwing the stuff away. Right. So it's kind of funny how people take pictures of this and they put this online that this is somebody's house that they're selling. But in any event, this is a property that looks pretty clean. And I think it would be a decent property to do an example for a VA loan house hack on. That's why I chose it. So 480 is the purchase price. You can see that if we scroll down a little bit, the Redfin estimate is roughly 477. So it is definitely a property that is probably close to what it's valued at right now. It has been on the market for 26 days. And what we're going to do in this example, because it's been on the market for 26 days, is we're going to ask for a seller credit. And we can ask for it a couple different ways. And I'll show you that in the analysis here in just a second. But the point being is that this is a decent property. On each side of the duplex is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit. And with a VA loan, remember, you have to live in one of the units. So on one side, you can live in one side, and then you would rent out the other side of the unit. So let's take a look at what the numbers look like on this particular property first. And let's see if this makes sense for us to buy, what the mortgage payment is. So you can see that we can structure this several different ways. And then in this example, if you look at the first column, it's a VA loan with 0% down at asking price. So $480,000 is the purchase price. And the loan amount is $488,400, because remember, we have a funding fee in there for VA loans. And in this case, we're just rolling the funding fee into the actual loan amount. So we're financing actually more than what the purchase price is. And you can do that with VA loans. Let's say a rough estimate for an interest rate without buying it down further is 5.625% right now. And then that gives us a monthly payment of $34.11 per month. And then we would need a little bit of cash to close, as you can see in this example, $96.18. Based on some estimates of closing costs in that particular area of the state and in the country. If we look at the VA 0% down, 3% seller credit added to buy down the rate column, in this case, what we've done is ask for an extra $15,000 so that we can in turn bring that back to us as a seller credit. So you can see if we do that, the purchase price becomes $495,000. Our new loan amount, $503,662. But we can bring the interest rate down to 4.875%. And you can see in this example that the actual monthly payment is less than the payment if we were to just buy it without asking for interest rate buy down. So $32.81 is about $130 less than what the $34.11 would be if we were to buy it just straight up without asking for a seller credit. And then if we got even more creative and more aggressive, the last column here, we would do another VA 0% down loan, but we ask for 3% seller credit at the current purchase price. So the seller is going to net less, but we're still going to pay the same price. We're going to pay $480,000. and our loan amount is going to be 488,400 because again we're rolling in that funding fee, and again interest rate bought down with 3 points, so 15K is roughly 4.875%, and then our monthly payment goes to 3184 per month, and you can see that's $226 lower than if you were to buy it without asking for a seller credit, which I think is pretty cool. So we're going to use this number right here, the 3184, to base that on our calculations. So if we look at what the market rent in this particular area for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath is, there's lots of different websites you can go to. I went to this one, Affordable Housing. It gives us an estimate of the rents in that area for a 2-bedroom house. You can see it's almost up to $1,900 for the county. And then within a mile radius, it's roughly $1,700. So we're going to take the middle ground here. We're going to take about $1,800 for our monthly rent. So we rent one side of the property out for $1,800, and then the remainder is what we have to pay. So that's about $1,400 that we have to pay out of our own pocket in this particular example if we were to rent out one side. Now, if you move on, you stay in the property for a year, which is what we're really doing for house hacking. We're going to stay in there for a year, and then we're going to move on, leaving the existing financing in place. We're going to be able to get $1,800 for both sides of the property. So that's $3,600 in rent coming in and $3,184 going out in monthly principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So roughly $400, maybe plus or minus a little bit there, that we're going to profit on this property by just doing a VA house hack going forward with a long-term rental. Now, of course, the other way to do things is if you were to do a short-term rental, which could be even more profitable. So I went to Airbnb here, put in a date of March 1st through April 30th. So for 2 months, and then I zoomed into Lakewood here, and you can see for 2 bedrooms, anywhere from $4,099 a month, all the way up to, $5,000 in some of these instances here per month. So if you were, to rent this out in the short term on each side for like traveling nurses or, businessmen that are traveling through the area at the time, whatever it may be that you could, rent it out on a monthly short-term rental type of a lease. I mean, you're looking at $5,600 minimum in profit coming in, $5,600 gross profit coming in from renting out both of your sides of your duplex after you move on. And then, subtract out your mortgage payment of $3,184 per month, you're doing pretty darn good here going forward if you were going to rent this out as a short-term rental. Now, a little bit more risk because you may not have somebody that stays there for that long when you're doing short-term rental, but the upside for profit is a lot bigger. Okay. So again, in this example, this is a VA loan purchase, and what we're looking at is buying a property, renting out one side, living in the other side for a year, and then turning around and moving out of the property while keeping this existing property with the VA loan and then renting out both sides. That's your first investment property. It's called a VA loan house hack. I want to help you out with this. If you're a veteran anywhere in the country, I'm licensed in Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Nevada, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Illinois right now. I'm going to add another 10 states here pretty soon. And I would love to help you with your VA loan purchase or your VA loan refinance or your VA loan house hack. So please make sure you reach out to me. And if you want a copy of this analysis here, again, please reach out to me. You can comment down below, and I'm happy to share it with you. Good luck on your house hunting adventures, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next video. Have a good one.